When Rachel moved into her new apartment in Boston, she had one rule from the landlord. Never go into the basement. She followed that rule for 6 months, until the night she heard someone crying down there. The apartment was perfect. Second floor of an old Victorian house, hardwood floors, high ceilings, walking distance to her new job. The landlord, an elderly man named Mr. Chen, showed her around with pride. Then he stopped at a door in the hallway. He said 3 words she would never forget. Basement is forbidden. Not off limits, not restricted, forbidden. He said the lock was old, the stairs were dangerous, and she should never attempt to go down there for any reason. She agreed. The rent was too good to argue. Life was normal for 6 months. She barely thought about the basement. Until October. That's when the sounds started. It was 2 a.m. when she first heard it. A sound coming from below her apartment. Not from the first floor where Mr. Chen lived. From underneath. From the basement. It sounded like someone crying. Soft. Desperate. Like someone who had been crying for hours. She stood in her hallway, listening. The basement door was right there. Locked. Silent. But the crying continued. She knocked on Mr. Chen's door. No answer. She called him. Straight to voicemail. The crying got louder. She made a decision. Someone was hurt. Someone needed help. She found a screwdriver and worked on the lock. 5 minutes later, the door swung open. The stairs descended into complete darkness. The crying was louder now, clearer. She turned on her phone flashlight and started down. Each step creaked. The air grew colder. The smell hit her halfway down. Old, musty, wrong. At the bottom, her light swept across the basement. Old furniture, boxes, dust everywhere. And then she saw it. A radio, old, battery-powered, sitting on a table, playing a recording of someone crying. She walked closer. The crying on the recording sounded so real, so desperate. She reached for the radio. That's when she saw what was underneath it. A note, in Mr. Chen's handwriting. To whoever finds this, I am sorry. My daughter lived in your apartment. She went missing 3 years ago. The police found nothing. This recording is from her last call to me. I play it every night, because it is the last time I heard her voice. I will be dead when you read this. Please let her rest. Turn off the radio. Rachel's hands shook. She looked at the date on the note. 3 days ago. She hadn't seen Mr. Chen in 3 days. She called 911. When the police arrived, they found Mr. Chen in his apartment. He had passed away in his sleep 2 nights before. The radio had been playing on a loop. A father's grief, playing on repeat in the darkness. Rachel moved out the next week. But she took the note with her. She still has it. A reminder that sometimes the scariest things aren't monsters or ghosts. Sometimes it's the weight of a love that never got to say goodbye. There are some decisions you make in a split second. Decisions that seem harmless, until you realize what you've just invited into your car. Marcus was driving from Denver to Salt Lake City, night shift. He did this route twice a month. 4 hours of empty highway through the mountains. He always drove alone. Until that night. It was 1 a.m. He'd been driving for 2 hours. That's when he saw someone standing on the side of the highway. A man, thumb out, hitchhiking. In the middle of nowhere. At 1 a.m. Marcus knew better. Never pick up hitchhikers, especially not out here. But something made him slow down. Maybe it was the way the man stood perfectly still. Maybe it was curiosity. He would regret that curiosity. He pulled over. The man walked to the passenger window. Marcus rolled it down. The man smiled. Thank you for stopping. Nobody stops anymore. His voice was calm. Too calm. Where are you headed? Marcus asked. Same direction as you, the man said. Marcus hadn't mentioned where he was going. The man got in. He carried nothing. No bag. No coat. Just a small piece of paper in his hand. He settled into the passenger seat and stared straight ahead. Silent. Marcus pulled back onto the highway. He tried making conversation. Been waiting long? Long enough, the man said. Then silence. Miles of silence. 20 minutes passed. The man hadn't moved, hadn't blinked, just stared forward. Marcus glanced at him. The man was reading the piece of paper, over and over. Marcus couldn't help himself. "What's that?" The man turned to him, smiled. "A list," he said, "of people who stopped for me." Marcus's blood went cold. He looked at the paper. Names, dates, license plate numbers, at least 15 names. Marcus's hands tightened on the wheel. His mind raced. They were in the middle of nowhere. No other cars, no lights, just mountains and darkness. The man was still smiling. "You seem nervous," the man said. Marcus didn't respond. Most people get nervous when they see the list. Marcus saw a light ahead. A gas station. The first one in 40 miles. He had an idea. A dangerous idea. He pulled into the gas station, heart pounding. "I need gas," he said, trying to keep his voice steady. "Of course," the man said. "I'll wait here." Marcus got out, walked to the gas pump, started filling. His phone was in his pocket. He pulled it out, hands shaking, dialed 911. He whispered his location, described the man, mentioned the list. The dispatcher told him to stay on the line, stay in public view. Help was coming. Marcus looked at his car. The passenger seat was empty. He spun around, scanned the gas station. No one. The door to the men's restroom swung closed. Marcus ran inside the gas station, told the clerk to lock the doors. Police arrived 12 minutes later. They searched the entire area, the restroom, the surrounding woods. The man was gone. But they found something in Marcus's car. The list, left on the passenger seat, with one new entry. Marcus's name, tonight's date, his license plate. Police ran the other names on the list. Every single person had filed police reports about a hitchhiker in the same location over the past 5 years. None of them had been harmed. The man never did anything except smile, show the list, and disappear. But here's what terrified Marcus. The police told him one more thing. 2 of the people on that list disappeared 6 months after their encounter, both on the same date, October 31st. Marcus keeps his doors locked now. He never picks up hitchhikers. And every October, he leaves town. Because 6 months from the night he picked up that man is October 31st. 2 stories, 2 warnings. Some basements should stay locked. Some strangers should never get in your car. If you have your own story about something that can't be explained, share it below. And if these stories kept you engaged, there are more coming. Subscribe to Midnight Tales. The darkness is just beginning.